ShotokuTech News of the Week, bringing you news stories that you might have missed because there were other news stories. You're watching Snot Dub, or ShotokuTech News of the Week, 7 March 2020 edition. This is a great article, well worth the read. Basically, the researchers are saying humans began developing complex culture as early as the Stone Age. This development was brought on by social interactions between various groups of hunters and gatherers. Obviously, this predates Facebook. This is pretty exciting. Scientists discover protein in a meteorite, and they're fairly sure it's not terrestrial origin. This could really bolster the notion that life on Earth was developed through compounds that were delivered via meteorite impacts. Quite interesting. This is something to keep an eye on. This story from BBC.com. China pollution clears amid coronavirus slowdown. Basically, they're saying there's a general slowdown of pollution during the Chinese New Year that rebounds immediately afterward. And here, comparing 2019 to 2020, you can see the pollution has not rebounded at Wuhan. So NASA is saying this decline in pollution to some degree is related to the coronavirus. This from the Washington Post. Kirkland, Washington becomes the epicenter of the coronavirus response as cases spread. So this is a large community just northeast of Seattle. And the first and second U.S. deaths linked to the virus have occurred here. A 50-year-old man died in a hospital, became the first death. And they say this 70-year-old man died in the same hospital the day before. And so there's a lot of intense scrutiny going on here along the West Coast as the coronavirus begins to spread. Now for a palate cleanser, a New York pizza shop is putting photos of dogs on pizza boxes to help them find homes. That's really nice. Just Pizza and Wing Company in Amherst, New York, is putting flyers of adoptable dogs on its pizza boxes. I remember my dogs got in a terrible fight when one of them copped a slice of pie off of the counter and then came strolling around the corner with it in its mouth, and the other one jumped down and they got into a vicious fight. Blood was drawn and everything. It was terrible. So be careful with your pie on the counter unless you want to share it with your pooch. I think I reported about cotton candy planets before, but these super puffs, scientists are rethinking that perhaps their large radii compared to their mass is due to them having rings instead of just being really big. I previously reported about the Leaning Tower of Dallas. Well, it's finally down now after numerous internet memes. New evidence suggests the planet was covered entirely by water with no continents at all. Continents appeared later as plate tectonics thrust enormous rocky landmasses upward to breach sea surfaces. They found clues about this ancient water world preserved in a chunk of ancient seafloor now located in the outback of northwestern Australia. Indonesia's largest volcano, Mount Merapi, spews ash clouds and triggering aviation alert. Here you can see the landscape nearby covered with dust. While autonomous vehicles might be good for traffic on the ground, I don't know what's going to happen when we start putting a bunch of more satellites in low Earth orbit, but China's largest automaker, Geely, I think I'm saying that right, is plans to produce 500 satellites a year by 2025 to assist with autonomous driving vehicles. Hoo boy, let the internet memes begin. Man brings a llama in a tuxedo to his sister's wedding. Wow. What were you thinking? You do, I don't. Anyway. Now, I don't like to speak ill, but my experience at LAX, whether it's international or domestic, has been less than stellar. I've been through there recently a few times. It just seems kind of dirty and crowded. I know they're working on improving things, but this would have just made it worse here. Total power outage at LAX. That could have been very inconveniencing to be one of the 14 cancellations there. So I hope they can get LAX back on track. Nom nom, these plastic-chomping caterpillars can help fight pollution. They can even eat polyethylene and can survive off of plastic alone for up to a year. They're called waxworm caterpillars. You're going to have to strap on your thinking cap for this one. Scientists shed light on the mystery of dark matter. Dark matter is composed of particles that do not absorb, reflect, or emit light. We suspect there's dark matter because of the interaction of gravity with visible objects. So we know there's more to the universe than what we're actually seeing. So they've put forth this candidate, a particle they recently discovered called the D-star hexaquark. It's composed of 6 quarks. Quarks are the fundamental particles that usually combine in trios to make up protons and neutrons that we're familiar with as parts of atoms. The 6 quarks in a D-star result in a boson particle, which means they can combine in very different ways to the familiar protons and neutrons. Shortly after the Big Bang, not the TV show, but the actual Big Bang that formed the universe, D-star hexaquarks could have grouped together and cooled and expanded to form the 5th state of matter, the Bose-Einstein condensate. Wow, this is definitely a mouthful here. It's worth a read. Maybe read through it a couple of times. You're going to want to check out this panorama from the Curiosity rover. 1.8 billion pixels in a single image. This was taken between November 24th and December 1st of 2019. It's the first time they've dedicated their operations to a stereo 360-degree panorama, taken between noon and 2 p.m. over those days to ensure consistent lighting. Make sure to follow the link below. Coronavirus update. California declares a state of emergency as they have their first death recorded, bringing the United States total to 11. There's a cruise ship that was bound for San Francisco with seems like 20 potential cases of coronavirus detected, and they're holding that ship for testing. Also, Congress has passed an $8 billion funding package to fight the spread of coronavirus. Oregon doctors are gene editing live tissue inside patients' eyes to attempt to restore vision for a particular type of blindness. This is a very interesting article. This could sting a little bit. This robot uses artificial intelligence and imaging to draw blood. Good luck with that. Okay, closing out the week with this story. The NASA Mars rover, set to take off on July of 2020, has received the name Perseverance because landing one of these things and maintaining them on another planet such as Mars takes a lot of perseverance. So, best wishes, and I hope you have great success. Thank you for watching Snot Dub or ShotokuTech News of the Week. Thank you for watching ShotokuTech. Please subscribe, comment, like, and share.